What's up guys, my name is Jacob Sherwood. Thanks for tuning in to this week's video. And today I'm actually going to be drifting my go-kart for the first time in like the last 3 uploads. So I'm super stoked on that. And to start this off, I actually need to put PVC on the rear tires, which is the most key component in making this thing slide. Before I go putting the PVC on, here's a little update since last video where I installed the wing. If you haven't checked out that video, please do if you want to know how to put a wing on a go-kart. But if you did watch the video, you know that I added some more stuff on, which is this cross strut right here, and then also these struts that go from the bumper to the wing itself to make sure it's really sturdy. I just took the thing for a little test rip and it goes. The only issue is my battery is already dead, which is just an issue I've not been able to solve yet. Today I'm going to be running 10-inch inner diameter Schedule 40 PVC. That's what I tell them when I buy it, and it's cut at 4.5 inches. So that's what I've found to be, the best hybrid of grip and slip. But yeah, I'm gonna get the back end of this thing posted up on a toolbox, and I'm gonna deflate the tires as much as possible, like to the point where they start sucking in air when you let go of them. And then that's when I'm gonna put the PVC on and I'm gonna inflate them again. A little tip for getting the tires inflated as much as possible is actually putting the cart on the ground, then just holding something on the valve stem and putting your foot on it. You can actually tell from my Vans that I'm rocking, but yeah, it should almost be in this square shape because it's only going to be touching on the corners, which is what we want when we're putting it on. But then when you inflate it, that's when it grips the inside of the PVC. You'd actually be surprised how far you can get the PVC on with just your hands, no hammer. I swear it's a myth to use the hammer. You try to hit it on and it barely moves, but then you use your hands and it just pops right on. So I'm going to try to wrestle one of them on, and if I can't do it, then we'll break out the hammer. Woo! Let's go. Alright, so check it out. It is pretty centered, but I'm not going to count on it yet. I'm not going to film the other one because you guys saw me wrestle it on. It's possible with just your hands. But then I'm going to inflate these guys, probably like 5 pounds. And I'm just going to spin it, and I'm going to try to balance it as much as possible. You don't want to get thrown off by your cut, because sometimes your cut is going to be, all diagonal. Don't let that fool you. You just want to be making sure that the PVC itself is not off balance. Because, the cart's going to knock it into balance at some time, but we want to get that out of the way as much as possible before you vibrate your cart to pieces. Alright, so check it out. I got my PVC all mounted up. I put about 6 to 7 PSI in there, and you can tell with my thumb that it's not super duper hard. That's honestly not the goal. Sometimes if you air it up too much, it'll make the PVC explode. But yeah, all jokes aside, you actually can use a hammer. It's really good for just the fine adjustments when you're trying to get it all balanced up. But the next step after this is I'm going to bring my front tire pressure down to the same 6-7-ish range, and that's going to give us a little bit of bounce when we're sliding. So I got all the wheels dialed in. I'm just going to do a little test rip and make sure everything is nice and balanced. I'm going to go and just mangy back and forth and try to get the PVC just to set in, and then we'll go ahead and head to the spot in Mexico and drift this thing for the first time in 4 or 5 months. All right, guys, so unfortunately, the spots are all blown out. There's no way I'm pulling this thing out. It is looking pretty steez. Kind of rigged up the lights. I think they still look ugly, but it just looks sick with the PVC on and the big old wing. I just can't get my battery to work, which is a bummer because if I had lights, I might be able to take it out, but as you can see, it's really dark out. So thankfully, I have the day off tomorrow, and I'll be able to hopefully get some skids during the daylight. I'm not going to have my filmer, unfortunately, but I'm going to make it happen. It's honestly still a win for me because today I just wanted to get it to the point where it's actually ready to drift. Like, no other steps, no other twisting this, tightening that. It's just ready to go, and that's what I did. I can figure out the battery issue tomorrow, and hopefully I can just honestly just have at least one session with a dialed battery that I can just turn the key and the thing starts. So I'll be back with you guys tomorrow when I am hopefully drifting. What's up, guys? It's actually the next day. I still am kind of bummed I didn't get to take out the cart, but thankfully today I have some more light, some more time, and I'm going to be able to do that. Took my second trip to AutoZone this week for a battery. This time I picked up the gold level, or whatever you call it. Pretty much the one where you don't have to, manually put it all together and do an initial charge. So I'm hoping I have a lot better experience. When I woke up today, the gas tank was leaking fuel, so I went and picked up some JB Weld as well. I'm going to start out with the battery just because it's the easiest thing to bolt up. So I got the battery all mounted up just as a little test. As you can see, starts right up, kills it. That's the goal. Now I just need to pay attention to if the battery is keeping the charge. Looks like it's going to be at least okay for today's session. Honestly, don't know why I keep telling myself this project is coming to an end when I know it's actually not. I'm going to be wrenching on this thing for all of eternity. But yeah, I'm just going to leave this plugged in just while I mess with the gas tank because the petcock on it is leaking. And when that dries up and stuff, then I will go test the battery once again, see if it starts fine. And if it's good, then I found the battery of my choice. So I'm actually gonna be taking this thing for a spin for you guys. I'm just gonna be doing some test rips around the neighborhood and just making sure she's all dialed in. I'm gonna get the helmet on and see what we can film by myself on this thing. Alrighty, let's take this thing for a ripski. All right guys, so I was just editing that video and realized I don't have an outro. So that's what this is. Right after that clip, I actually blew my clutch. I have no idea what happened, but the engine was just revving out and it wasn't going anywhere. So probably time for a new one. But on that note, I'm definitely gonna be ending the video. If you'd like to see what I'm doing behind the scenes and keep up with the project throughout the week, I have an Instagram dedicated just to this stuff. So it's at crazybuilder37, same one that's in the intro, same one that's in the description. And like always, if you vibe, please subscribe. I love hanging out with y'all. Glad I can share this with you. Until next time, peace out.